Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What's popping, guys? Welcome to both Zir Talk and Football Rig. You know what I'm saying? And welcome to the second episode of Top BINS YA AKHI. We're going to talk about a couple of news that's transpiring across not just the league, but obviously the Club World Cup is over. And then there's one piece of news out of my club. Actually, a couple. But like we'll talk about it coincides with one Premier League club. You know what I'm saying? And one player. So actually, a couple of players. So we'll talk about that. But شخبارك, Sam? How are you doing?
Wallah, tamam, man. Thanks for the intro, bro. And yeah, we're gonna have a good talk. There's a lot to unwrap here. A lot of topics, a lot that happened during the last week. So, yeah, man,
Mhm.
let's get into it.
Yeah. You know what? I
Yeah.
just want to kick things off quickly
Mm-hmm.
with the Club World Cup. Um,
Big
Unfortunate
up, big up, yeah.
circumstances for you. Big up Yasser. Speaking of the devil, Chelsea fan. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, yeah, Chelsea are Club World Cup winners, bro. I guess you're gonna have to talk to me about it because
Yeah.
you're the rival here. What are you saying?
Well, man, look, you have to give them credit, man. You know, as much as I hate Chelsea, but I gotta give them credit for what they did, especially in the final. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty much easy run for them until the final. They actually faced PSG. And to break it down, I already talked about it even in my last video. It's called the topic was the Blues found the blueprint on how to defeat
Yeah,
PSG. And
yeah,
there are two things, in my opinion, tactically speaking, on how they actually won against PSG. The first thing is playing Reece James on the pivot instead of
yeah,
Enzo and Caicedo. They played actually Reece James, and I thought that was a very brilliant move from and brave move from Mariska to put James there to cover more ground defensively speaking. But when it comes to the way they played, they actually learned something from the previous Champions League last season, Aston Villa against PSG, the second leg. Aston Villa actually slapped PSG in the second leg, and the way, if you watch the game, even to use here, if you
yeah,
watch the game, you would have seen they played long ball football. And that's how they beaten PSG. For some reason, it is their kryptonite, the long balls style. And if you notice, Chelsea first two goals were from a long ball where Palmer managed to capitalize and score good goals the way he placed it in the corner. The third goal was not a long ball, but still, I mean, it was pretty effective and it's pretty obvious that PSG struggles a lot with long ball, and Mariska exposed that and read Luis Enrique like a book. And hey, man, congrats to the Blues, man. As much as I hate them, but you got to give them props when props is due. And congratulations, they're going to be the World Cup champions for the next 4 years. So they're gonna rub it in front of everybody's face. And all I can say is all I can do is salute them, man.
I have a good question though, quickly, before I give my
Yeah, man.
honest opinion on the game. Are they the biggest club in London now?
No, not really. I cannot say that because
They
we
are.
we have more trophies than them.
They are.
Yeah, man, trophies count. I mean, we have like 13 Premier Leagues. They have around six, I think. So that counts as well. I mean, you
You
can't
know
just
what?
say,
I would like to make an argument, but because I don't want to deflect from the conversation, I will not do it. But I don't agree at all. But anyway, we move. Yeah, listen about the game itself. Um, yeah, I thought Chelsea beat PSG in their own game. Um, I thought they gave it a go at PSG, and I thought, you know what? One thing I will say, and I'm not the biggest fan of like what Prem stands for when it comes to PMP, but I think if there was an advert for it, I think this was one of those games. As hard as it is for me to actually say, because PSG, yes, they have an unreal midfield. Yes, their fullbacks were unreal, but I have to say, physically, they got done for, bro. Absolutely done for, and that's where I feel like Chelsea hurt them while playing similar game to them. You know what I mean? Also, I have to give credit to a player that I don't think Chelsea fans usually. I mean, listen, he has no right in getting credit at all. Don't get it twisted. But I
mm,
think for that game in isolation, he deserves credit. Robert Sanchez. I felt like the
yeah, he did
passes
a good
provide
effort.
some of the saves he made, especially second half, very crucial. Um, I do agree with you. Reece James in midfield played a big role. But that's why I rate Reece James very highly, right back, or even I didn't even expect midfield, but let's say midfield even in that game. Like, I rate him highly because he's able to do these things. Uh, Enzo's coming to his own. Cole Palmer stole the damn show. Um,
He did.
he really
And
did. That Joao Pedro guy is gonna be looking to be very dangerous at Chelsea Football Club. Um, so that's already a signing in itself. Um, and Pedro Neto and the whole tournament has actually been pretty good as well. So, listen, I actually think Chelsea should be feared in the Premier League. I don't know if they're going to win it or not, not going to lie, but to compete for it, why not? Especially after winning the Club World Cup, surely they should at least be in contention for it. Especially with their squad, even not that. Their squad's pretty decent, actually. Imagine, that was pretty good to some degree, like, if you look at it, like, deeply. So, yeah, man, I think they're just a center back and a keeper away, you know?
I think so too. I mean, there's a lot to say, but this win in particular, and if I take it in isolation, this game uh, alone proves that Chelsea have something to say this season. It is a statement from Chelsea to say that their squad is strong enough to compete in a high level.
Mm.
And I honestly I did not expect that to happen for the Chelsea win, but yeah, man, and they're still in the market, so they're probably going to sign a left winger since Sancho returned to Man United. So I think they're getting Gittins, or they might go for Rodrigo. They might go for any player. You don't know what Chelsea have in terms of targets, but I think they're also going to sign a attacker player still on the left flank. Overall, Palmer, he's still the show, and to be honest, I'm starting slowly to believe that, honestly speaking, Palmer, in terms of technical ability and being the star player and lifting and carrying a team, is much more. I would say much better than what Odegaard is doing for Arsenal. And that's a big thing to say from an Arsenal fan to dunk on my captain like that. But what Palmer did and continued to do with Chelsea, I think is something brilliant, and I rarely, commend a player like that from Chelsea.
No, I hear it, bro. I hear it, bro. By the way, I think Palmer in finals needs to be talked about because didn't he turn up in the Conference League final as well?
Well, he turns out in big moments, and that's what's important.
Yeah,
When you're
yeah.
when you're the star player in your squad, then everybody will turn to you in the hard time when there's no creativity and you scrub a goal here or there. I mean, it counts. And Palmer, put the goal in the back of the net with style. I mean, especially the second goal, and plus he assisted, so the third goal. So he's man of the match without a shadow of a doubt.
Nah, I hear it, man. I hear it, man. But you know what? Um, I guess that's enough of Chelsea. Because we have a lot of things to talk about. You know what? I actually want to kick things off with Liverpool news. Because Liverpool news has been going crazy in the past 2 days. Obviously, we're both aware of the Isak news, the bomb that happened yesterday. How they're now placing an ultimatum on Newcastle. Like, if you don't give us Isak, okay, cool, we'll go for your target Ekitike. Um, that's one to talk about. Obviously, the Rodrigo news, I mean, that depends on what we do with Luis Diaz, which, I mean, about us, we'll talk about in a bit. But, like, with Liverpool specifically, like, they're going on a rampage, bro.
Uh, for the Liverpool situation, it is expected. I mean, putting the fact that after Diego Jota passed away, rest in peace. They already wanted to go for a striker in this summer, regardless of that horrific incident. But yeah, I mean, they are putting pressure on Newcastle. They're saying, hey, if you're not gonna sell us Isak, we're gonna go for Ekitike. So I think for Liverpool, it's a win-win for them, and it's gonna be very tough for Newcastle to obtain Ekitike and also retain and maintain Isak in their squad. Is going to be very, very difficult to convince them. So for me, I think Isa Ekitike will go to Liverpool. I think the demands from Newcastle will be too high, financially speaking. So I think they will divert to Ikitike. Ikitike is a player prospect that came into the scene last year as a a good striker in the Bundesliga. I haven't watched many of them. All I watch is extended
Yeah,
videos of him, but he seems like a good player. I mean, for me, if you're gonna say, would you rather to have Ikitike or Sesko, I would easily chosen Ikitike.
yeah,
He looks like a player with a great first touch, with a great technical ability. I think he can lead the front line. I think he could connect the wingers with him. Where Sesko is a very raw, even Ikitike is raw player, but still you can see
yeah. I
the
was gonna
talent
say he's
there.
raw. He's raw as
He,
well. I was gonna say.
he is, but the potential you can see from Ikitike at 23 years old, putting all
Oh no,
that.
طبعاً, yeah,
So I think he has a very high ceiling. And yeah, it's a risky thing to pay 80, 90, 100 million, whatever the figure is. It's going to be a risk on any club to pay that amount of money. But generally speaking, I think that's the market value for such strikers, nowadays.
yeah. You know the thing is though with Ekitike,
Mm.
like someone that's followed up on him a little bit, in my league, um, I have to say, I actually think it's better for him to
You
stay in.
tell me about Ikitike, man. You
Yeah,
watch his league.
yeah.
So
I
tell me.
was gonna. Yeah, but no. The thing
Tell me,
is,
man, about him.
no, no, no. He's. You know what you said is true. He's very good on
So
the ball.
why
He's also-
Bayern Munchen is not going for him?
We don't need to go from. If we went from, he would have been back up to Kane, bro. Come on now. But then again, we're going for Voltemada, so I don't know. But yet again, Voltemada is actually more of a prospect for us than you know. What I mean, he's younger as well. So, but again, about Ekitike, I think he should stay at Frankfurt because I feel like at times, whenever, like, don't get it twisted, he's good on the ball. He can score a decent amount. He's not one of those guys that'll score a lot. But you can tell at times his own product could be a bit off. And you know, in the Premier League, bro, like once a player's end product is off, immediately they get called out on it and they get trolled about it. I'm afraid that one mess up with him and everything's ruined for him. Because remember, it's a World Cup year. He's trying to get to that French national team squad as well. If
Yeah.
I'm Ekitike, I see how it goes with Frankfurt one more year. And then from there, see what happens, you know? Because I have a fear if he goes to whichever Premier League club, unless maybe if it's Liverpool, he'll be okay because he'll have the likes of Salah, Florian Wirtz, and all these guys around him. So it will he could be facilitating for a Salah, maybe, you know, and maybe he can help contribute more so than Nunes has. You get me? But I'm just concerned if he goes anywhere else, it's one of those in which, yeah, he's gonna look fraudulent in so
Look,
many people's eyes, even though he isn't, you know?
I, here's what I think is gonna happen. If Liverpool keeps Nunes, I think they're gonna go for Ikitike. But if Liverpool sells Nunes, I think they're gonna go for Isak.
Yeah, thing is, apparently he was not Nunes. He was not interested in any of the Saudi moves, like Al Hilal or looking at him. You know, um,
Hmm.
I know he wants.
Because he wanted Napoli. That's why.
Yeah,
But
exactly. He wanted
Napoli
Napoli.
refused to pay the amount
بالضبط.
requested by.
بالضبط. So now it's one of those, either he stays at Liverpool غصبا عنه, or he goes Saudi غصبا عنه. Either way, he ain't getting his wish. So yeah, man, it'll be an interesting one with Liverpool, especially after the tragedy that happened. So yeah, it is what it is, bro. It really is what it is, man. But hey, imagine if they get Isak. My God.
Man, it's gonna be. The odds will all obviously be on their side when it comes to the Premier League or any tournament for that
Bro,
matter. I
Champions
mean,
League as well, bro. I'm
yeah,
already feeling them as a competitor there.
they're gonna be the strongest team on paper. That would be obvious. They have very strong midfield. Their defense is strong as well. I'm hearing they're looking at Mark Gahey as well from Crystal Palace. So I think Liverpool are still in the market, even though they had a very strong start in the summer transfer window. They bought Frimpong, they bought Kirkez and Verts. So they had a very strong start by signing three key players in their squad, and they're still gonna bring more reinforcement. But I think that will also depend heavily on the outgoing from Liverpool. which I think is a segue to the other topic, which is Luis.
Luis Diaz, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, our club, my club, may specifically made an offer. It was around 76 million euros or something like that, and they rejected. But for some reason, our board want to make another offer. And the reason why they want to go for Luis Diaz apparently is because he's one of those left wingers that they see can do a job, but then also his wages isn't going to be a lot. That's what apparently that term that they have agreed on.
Mm.
Um, so that's why they're willing to push for Luis Diaz, just because of how good he is to some degree, and then on top of the fact the wages. Now, do I think Luis Diaz can do a job for us? Realistically speaking, he can probably help in terms of breaking down low blocks. Not gonna lie, he may have purple patches, but do I think he'll be having consistent end product when we need it, especially when we need it the most? I'm not so sure. You know, uh, see, like, trust me, he is another Zane. See, like, he's a Liverpool fan. Like, see, this is my concern. I think we could be spending more money by bit for Rodrigo. You know, and there, by the way, if we
Mm.
fund, just before I let you say anything, if we pay the money for Diaz, they're gonna
Mm.
use that as a fund for Rodrigo. I just want you to
Yeah,
keep that.
that's actually what I'm saying. You know, Rodrigo's now coming out. We heard some news that Liverpool is interested in Rodrigo. Nothing formal and concrete yet in terms of communication between the clubs, but having those wingers now at the out of markets, this market going to be very dynamic. It's going to be like a domino effect. If Rodrigo goes there, this guy's going to move here. So there's a lot of strings attached to each transfer now, especially when it comes to the Liverpool. Due to the fact that a lot of their players are connected to leave the club, like Luis Diaz. I mean, I think the player wants to go to Barca. I mean the player himself, but at
Yeah,
the same time, I
initially,
don't think
yes.
I don't think Barca is gonna put the money that Liverpool is gonna ask for. At the same time, Liverpool are refusing all the or rejecting all the negotiation from both Bayern Munich and Barca for a reason. I think they're waiting until to see where their option can be in terms of attacking players like Rodrigo, Isak, Ikitike. So they want to clarify which target they're going to obtain and then decide on the outgoing. And maybe you would see green light from Liverpool in terms of you can speak to Luis Diaz if you meet, let's say, I don't know, 80 million or whatever the price tag they will slap on his back. But when it comes to Luis Diaz and the comment that you mentioned, that trust me is another Sane. I think he's better than Sane when it comes to dribbling, when it comes to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
technical
Wow.
ability. I think he's much better than Sane, with all due respect. I mean, I saw Sane at his peak when he was in Manchester City, but I also saw Luis Diaz. The problem with Luis Diaz is his end product. He's not that much clinical, but it's like you said. Sometimes he has those purple patches where he start converting those, skillful dribbles into goals. But overall, I think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's going to be the best winger you guys will have in your squad if he joins Bayern Munich.
Left hand side because we have Olise.
So you think Ulis is
I
better
actually think
than
I think
Luis?
Michael Olise would still be better than him.
I heard you guys are also interested in Diaz. Sorry, in Eze.
Yeah, 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 but like nothing concrete with that one. It's just he's added to the short list.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because we're apparently also interested in Xavi Simmons. But the problem with Xavi Simmons is I think if I'm not mistaken, Eze is what, 60 million, is it pounds? 60 million pounds?
67.
67 million pound. Okay, no, no, actually then Eze would be quite more expensive though. They're about the same, تقريبا. Okay.
Yeah, I think both players are in the same range in terms of.
Price, yeah, but in terms of price tag, there's because Simmons is 75 million euros, so it's around similar. That's the case. No, but listen,
Would you
again, the
prefer
whole thing
Eze
is
or
I would
Diaz?
rather Eze personally because I feel like Eze is more brave on the ball than Simmons, even though they're both have quality. You know, um, it's just one of them ones. But you know what, man? Um, yeah, the Diaz is just. I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure. Like, has he improved last season to some degree? Sure. Um, but will he continue on about? Because by the way, remember at Bayern, we need someone that can finish. That like we can create a lot of chat. I told you this last week. We can create to some degree, whether I'm a fan of our style of football or not.
Mm.
Can we score, especially when they matter? You get me? So yeah. But listen, man, that's I think that. By the way, speaking of Rodrigo with us, apparently it was news today. It was saying that Rodrigo was offered to Bayern and was briefly discussed back in May. But since not all decision makers are convinced, he's currently not a hot topic for the club. So advantage goes to Liverpool and all the English clubs. Then
Man, I'm gonna take a cheap shot at your club and say I don't think Bayern Munich is attractive as it used to be.
I can't even believe I'm saying this, but yes, you're not wrong. And you
You
know
know,
why you're not wrong? It's
mm.
not because of our stature of the club. It's because of the way our
No,
board.
Bayern is a big club. They're a big club.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no.
Yeah.
I know, no, no. I was just gonna. No, no. I'm telling you why. You see, I say this all the time. Your actions in the boardroom dictates how attractive you are at that moment. You know, because of the project, طبعاً, you know.
Mm.
So, and I just don't see that our what we're doing is convincing to a lot of players. There's a reason why we got rejected by so many wingers. You know,
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I why I'm building this narrative around Bayern Munich. A lot of players are refusing to join Bayern Munich for whatever reasons. Is it the Bundesliga not to up to the level? Is it the club? I mean, not that
it's
they
the
don't have
club.
that.
I'm sure it's the club.
The pull is not there anymore. I don't know. I mean, you guys are not selling out your project to attract the players that you guys want, and I've noticed that over the years. I mean, in the past 5 years, kind of Bayern Munich, slowly having a negative trend when it comes to a global, presence or attractive players or all of that stuff. That's what I think. I mean, I don't
No, I
know.
wouldn't say 5 years. I'd say past 2 years. I think because there was a summer window in which we signed like Mane, Delicht, and Mizraoui, all them guys, and then all of us, and that was under Nagelsmann, and then all of a sudden he got sacked. We brought in Tuchel. He got rid of some names, brought in some awful ones. Um, and then from there we had company, and the only really attractive name we got at the time last summer, Olise and Palinia. But Palini already wanted to join from when Tuchel was around. So,
Um,
and now it looks like he's out of favor in the club, even though he wants to stay. So, you know what I mean? I think it's the past 2 years, ever since that Tuchel, Nagelsmann sacking for Tuchel hiring, they're looking at this as like, this club is toxic. This board doesn't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Certain ideas doesn't align with the players' ideology. Like, and then here's another thing. I don't know if this happens with Arsenal or not, but with us, we have this very bad habit of having young players come out of our academy, and then we'd let them go on loan. They'd come back, and the next thing you know, they're gone. I'll give you an example. One player, he's Australian. We brought him all the way from Australia. His name is Nisroy Arankunda. I don't know if you've heard of him before. Maybe you watched Early Australian. He played one
mm,
of the games, by the way. He played one of the games, I remember. The
mm.
one when we drew 0-0. Um, and that kid basically was sent immediately after preseason to a Swiss side called Grasshoppers. I don't remember exactly that. It's Grasshopper something. I think it was in
Okay.
Zurich or something. He comes back now, and then all of a sudden now he's joining Watford with buyback clause on. And then apparently he got interviewed yesterday on his way to Watford, and apparently barely anybody in the club was talking to him. That's not good. That's not a good look. معلش هاي القليل حياة.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
Well, honestly,
that's the problem.
like for example, now let's say Rodrigo is on the market and you guys offer the same amount as Liverpool. I think he would choose easily Liverpool.
Wait, to
In
Rodrigo? or who?
Yeah, for Rodrigo,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example.
Rodrigo is choosing Liverpool 100%.
In
Yeah.
the same essence, even though I don't think, for example, Arsenal are a bigger club than Bayern Munich. Don't get me wrong, but
I know what you mean.
in the
Yeah.
same essence, if Rodrigo was offered to Arsenal and Bayern Munich, I think he would choose Arsenal. And
Maybe, but
I mean, no
we're both.
disrespect to your
You
club.
know what it is? The difference, though. The difference is Liverpool are serious. Both of us are not serious, bro. We're both on serious clubs. That's the
Well,
problem.
I think over the 4 or 5 years of this project with Mikel Arteta. I mean, for me, it's done. This project is over for me in terms of Arteta. He needs to leave. But what I'm seeing from the players and the Arsenal gameplays in the last few seasons, at least they're getting closer. I'm not saying okay we're gonna win anything, but at least we're not that far from winning a trophy. Like being second is not it's not being like sixth or seventh or fourth or
Yeah,
whatever.
but we win trophies in our league. I know it's our Bundesliga. I know you want
Look,
to call
but man, there's like
it. We win
80%,
trophies, bro.
there's
We
like
win
80%,
trophies still.
80% chance you will win.
But
From
that's
your
the point. If you
media.
want to win trophies, you're more likely gonna choose Bayern than Arsenal. Let's not lie here, bro. Like,
It
come on, man. I
depends on
can't
what
allow the
I mean, how much you rate both
Liverpool. At least are
teams.
competing to win the Prem, innit? But
Hmm.
oh, you man, you'll compete, but to finish second again. Like maybe you finish lower the way that you guys move compared to other teams. Like, come on, man. There's a little bit of a levels here, bro. You get me?
We gotta keep the faith.
Like,
We gotta keep the faith, man.
man, I gotta keep the faith, man. Hey, listen. That's
Yeah,
at
we
this.
gotta.
Listen, hey, listen. Hey, listen. At this rate, you need to do du'a, bro. Do du'a and hope that Arsenal can actually win
ما
for
في
once.
فايدة. I tried, man. Believe me, I tried.
Hey, listen. I need to do more. Zubda.
Mm.
Yeah, man. What's going on with your club, man? I mean, Jokeres. How's that? Is that nearly done? Surely, because the guy is still wanting Arsenal. Um, are you still going for Eze? Madueke confirmed. Khalas, I think he signed the contract. It's just yet to be announced.
Well,
Talk to me, bro.
from last time we spoke, we had another here we go, which is Mosquera, from Valencia. He's a 20 years old defender. I'm not gonna say he's wow or something, crazy or dropping some crazy statements about him. But what I can say, being a 20 years old player and starting for over 30 games for Valencia first team, I mean that counts for something. If you're 20 years old, that means there are some potential there. I hope he turns out to be great because we needed a backup for Saliba. We don't have a right-footed defender, so that's a good business to buy for less than 20 million euros. For Gyökeres, I think they're gonna sign him for 63 million plus 10 million add-ons. So that's a good deal, but we're still waiting for the final details or something like that. They are discussing the add-ons or the structure of it, or the criteria of the add-ons. Sporting wants it to be more achievable, more easier to achieve, so they can guarantee the other 10 million. And I think they're hovering over small details, and we're gonna hear the here we go like within the upcoming days, if not in the upcoming hours. I think Gyökeres is gonna elevate Arsenal's chances significantly in the when it comes to the odds of competing and winning something. But the other player that Arsenal might go for, from what I've seen in the media, is most likely Eberechi Eze. If you ask me, I would love to go for Rodrigo, but I don't think we have the funds, especially that we don't have any player that are going. I've heard that Bayern Munich are having Trossard in the short list. If you guys don't
Him and
know,
Martinelli, both of them.
yeah, both of them are in the short list. So I hope that kind of materializes at certain point, and I hope that's why I'm not hoping that you guys buy DS so you can come and buy one of those bums that we have here. We need to kind of clear, the dead wood, and I
Yeah,
think
but
that would, we can have some fund allocated to buy Eze and maybe go for Rodrigo, even though it's a far fetch.
yeah, but I want to ask you a question.
Tell me, buddy.
What's your thought on Martinelli specifically? Because I swear there was this one season he was actually firing up in the first season you were competing. Do you think if we took him, he would do a job?
Yes, you're right. He had that season where he scored 15 goals in the Premier League, and that was something we thought that will continue at least, or at least maintain the same level of
Yeah,
GA. But unfortunately, he fell off the cliff for whatever reason. He's he's unable, to pass his guy. He's unable to take his man when it comes to 1v1 situations. He's unable to dribble for some reason, and
yeah.
he lost he lost his confidence. I don't know what happened to him. Is it lack of confidence? Is it something that is happening with him personally? I have no idea, but there's a huge and massive obvious dip in his performance. So that's why I'm more than willing to let him go. I have no
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah.
excuse me, rejection that he leaves the club.
Nah, I hear it, bro. Now, because I have a feeling Martinelli would be one of them if we did hypothetically take him off you. I have a weird feeling he'd turn up. I do not know why. I think it's because Kane drops deep so he can occupy his space. Because I believe he used to play as a forward, right? Under Emery.
He
Is my
started
friend
as center. Yes, he
told
did
me about?
start center forward, but under Arteta, he kind of pushed him to the left side, and he played well there. I'm not saying he's a bad left winger, but for some reason, the past 2 seasons, he just dipped in form and never came back to the levels that we were expecting from him, or the levels that we know that he can achieve. So for me, I'm happy that if he leaves and we can cash on him a little bit, so that we don't just leave those players leave for penny monies. We need uh cash back, so
Yeah,
we can
لا أنا فاهمك.
transfer.
لا أنا فاهمك. Yeah, man. Listen, that's one of them. So yeah, man. Is there anything else we need to talk? You want to talk about Man United a bit?
Well, I heard the deal with Mbuemo has fell off.
Yeah,
So for I don't know, I think Brentford started demanding more money, or they changed the financial terms, and so that's why that deal stall or fell off. I don't know what term to use exactly here, but I don't see it, progressing. So in Man United, with the only signing they had, which is Matheus Cunha, I don't think they will have, a good start. They need, for me, Man United need an overhaul. Them and Tottenham need an overhaul. At least Tottenham got some players like Kudus, but Man United,
yeah. He's saying all that. Yeah, he Will is a fraud. He's a Madrid fraud. So yeah, now what?
you cannot, banter Madrid fans. No matter
Well,
they
well, if I want to, I will. They're frauds. Anyway, back
you
to
would
back to
banter.
back. Yeah, man, I'll always banter Madrid. Yeah, I'll always do it, bro. When I get my
You're
chance, I'll
shameless,
always
man.
defend it.
You're shameless, bro.
لازم يا اخي، لازم يا اخي تفلسفون هذول. معليش يعني. بس anyway, bro. I said cook him, Sammy. Brother, يا اخي, you're telling an Arsenal fan to cook me? How dare you, يا اخي? This guy.
No, but it's something that you cannot
You know
say
what?
against
Well, no, no, no. His
Madrid.
club beat you
I'm not,
5-1
I'm not a Madrid
خلاص.
fan, but I
Beat you,
don't have
bro.
the look. I'm not a Madrid fan, but I don't have the audacity like you to go and argue about with the club that
I
won
mean,
50 with
I do,
15
bro.
UCLs,
I
man.
do.
Man,
I do.
it's just weird, man.
No, you know what? You know what
And
I
I
do, bro.
spanked them 5, by the way. We spanked them five
Exactly.
one. But
Exactly.
still,
Exactly. So I
I
gotta.
have mad respect to them. They're Real
مثلا
Madrid, man.
no, bro. You know what? As much as I want to respect them, fuck the respect. Fuck the respect.
Ah,
And they
man.
don't deserve no respect. Actually, to be fair,
They're
some Madrid fans do deserve respect. He don't. This fucker doesn't. Big up to Will though, but he don't deserve no respect.
ah,
Anyway.
man. See, man, even my colleague, man.
اوه شفت كيف بشجع مدريد بعد؟ يو بدينا.
Man, and
يعني
he's
I was
right,
about
and
to
he's
respect
right, man.
section of them and then now he's dissing both of us.
Yeah, man, he's right, man. You cannot,
I
man.
mean, to be honest, they are the biggest club ever. Yeah, but
Yeah, man.
yeah,
You
they
gotta,
are. They are. But bro, it just annoys me when all they do is 15, 15. خلاص فكني يا أخي. هل عني.
man. They
You know
have
what I
more.
mean?
Man, listen, they have more UCLs than Arsenal have Premier League. So that's why I. you gotta fathom what I'm saying to you. 15.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
15
yeah.
man, UCLs at 15.
15 UCLs, bro. Crazy work, bro. Crazy
Nah,
work.
man.
But hey, but this is what happens when you play Madrid and you don't take your chances, bro. You know
No,
what I
that's why
mean?
when you have a don like Florento Perez, that's what happens.
Oh yeah,
You
that
have,
too. Yeah, طبعا. Yeah, that
that
guy.
that's the whole thing.
He
Yeah,
knows.
man, that guy.
Maybe he will wait. He will wait for bro. He صدقني wait في بيكون في فترة. He's gonna be waiting for your Saliba to be going on a free. صدقني, he'll wait for his contract to run out and he'll
Yeah,
take him to. He
Madrid
tried doing.
currently.
They do this all the
Yeah,
time.
no, it's not that. Look, Madrid just did the huge, I would say constructions on their stadium where they have this now basement and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
I
stuff
seen.
and the
I
ceiling
was there
roof.
for
So all of that cost them a huge, huge amount of money, and that's why I would say in the next few years, not many years, because they're one of the top clubs in the world and they can sell merch easily, recoup that money within a short time, span of time, but. That's why they are paying pennies for players and waiting for the contracts to finish. At least I think for the next 4 or 5 years for Madrid. But I think in no time they will come back in the spending spree. If you recall the 2009, where Florentino Perez signed Ronaldo and Kaká and Benzema in one
yeah,
summer.
yeah, yeah.
So I think this will happen once they, close the debt between them and the bank or whatever for the stadium. I think Madrid will come back strong.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I mean, Madrid did go through. I mean, they didn't go through too much because they make hella revenues anyway. But like, you do have a point to some degree that did force them to like having to go through a different strategy and how they get there. So I think also the Hazard deal, I think taught them some lessons as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
I
was
think that
yeah,
Hazard deal as well. When you think about it, like as much as I want to
hundred
like
and twenty something million, man.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Then he starts eating too much there and then not performing. Oh, getting injured.
He
Habibi,
flopped.
the way he was moving, he may as well join the Saudi league, bro. You know better than anybody, bro. Do you know the amount of mata'im we have, bro? He could have been enjoying himself, yeah, playing in the Saudi league. But no, he's doing it in Madrid. This guy, bro. This guy. Anyway, yeah,
I
man.
bet he will
Listen.
love the bake.
Oh, he would have loved El Bake and all these mata'im.
Yes, man.
Section B and all, bro. Take him to Qarya Najdiya, bro. He'll have like a nice feast. Zibda. Anyway, listen. Is there anything
What
we
does
need
this
to
guy
do?
say?
Yeah,
Byron said the problem isn't the debt
oh,
department. The
is
problem is the
Madrid City Council and authority, they're not allowing concerts and events in the stadium now due to noise pollution.
Mm.
غريب.
But I
You know
think
what?
you don't need to do events and
Yeah,
stuff, man. Only your t-shirts alone, man. I think it would cover that pretty
Robo,
much.
for not just that, fan memberships. By the way, I paid a visit to the Bernabeu.
Hmm.
Like, this was back in 22. They were still constructing the Bernabeu. And from my memory, they were obviously selling merches and stuff,
When was
but
this?
even 22, summer of 22,
22.
I went.
22. Okay.
They were also selling like fan memberships and stuff like that for like
Mm.
a decent amount. So like
But it's
that
not
also
expensive.
generates revenues. It's also the fan memberships, you know. Um,
Mm-mm.
that's something that people need to talk about also. Um, but hey, listen, was there anything we need to talk about? We didn't talk about Kudus last week. We were supposed to talk about him. He joined Spurs and now Gibbs White linked to Tottenham. You as a what are you thinking about this?
I'm fumed, to be honest, to see Kudus to go to Tottenham and we bought Madueke. And what the fuck, man? There's levels to this shit, bro. What do you mean Madueke, man? Yeah, look, man, you even
هذا
dropped Levy, man.
يا
Like, what the
بالعيد.
fuck? I don't get it. Like Kudus is like 55 million. We bought Madueke for 50 or 52 million. I mean, I don't get it like at all. Kudus is a player I think would have made Arsenal much better, but I think because he wants to play in the central area instead of the right wing, and I think that's why he wanted Tottenham and only Tottenham,
Yeah,
because also Chelsea went for him and he rejected Chelsea, and probably for that reason, because he got guaranteed that he will play central areas in Tottenham and be like the main number 10 in Spurs, because I think they don't have a player that can actually compete with Kudus, and he will be the main guy there and have the minutes. Um, in one aspect, yeah, I'm mad because he's a good player. We've seen Kudus and what he's capable of, but also for this. Also, Elanga to Newcastle. I mean, it's a good player that they
Yeah,
signed
that's a
there,
good move for them. But
and
that's
we
why they
signed. We ended Madueke, but to be fair, African players for next year would be a risk because they're gonna miss 6 weeks of the Premier League due to Afcon.
yeah, that's
So
true. Yeah, Morocco hosting represent. You get me?
yeah, so I'm happy that at least we're not gonna go for African players, at least for next season. Nothing against African players. I just don't think they will be available during the AFCON, which is around 6 weeks, which
Yeah,
is a lot, and when they come, you never know how they come, like back in shape and form, and hopefully not injured. But that's what I think of Kudus, man. Kudus is a strong signing.
yeah. I thought they were gonna miss it with some
Wait a
injuries.
second. What
I
is
think
this? What is this fraud saying? You are some frauds try to get petition signed for Madueke not to join Arsenal. Yeah, yeah. Actually, we
yeah,
did.
yeah,
We did. We did, Ravi. We did.
yeah,
Two
yeah, yeah,
thousand
yeah.
two hundred members were in that petition. Signed that petition.
By the way, did you see the some area in the UK, bro? The walls are filled with Arteta out and F Artetas and all that خرابيط. I died and
Man,
laughed. I
man.
died in laughter, bro. Like, خلاص, that Madueke deal has now like united the entire Arsenal fan base into saying, خلاص, مع السلامة Arteta, get the hell out.
Because we've seen Chelsea rejects before. I mean, recently Havertz. I mean, what the fuck? Why are we repeating the same mistakes? I don't get it.
والله انا ما ادري يا اخي ارسنال يا اخي ارسنال معليش يعني they are the gift that keeps on giving يعني للاسف that's what they do bro they the gift that keeps on giving somehow you don't expect them to do some غباء shit and they end up doing it يعني ما ادري ايش اقول لك it's what they do يا اخي this is what they do you know what I mean يعني bro imagine يعني I'm sure you would agree يعني you
Man,
see these you
yeah,
see
tell me.
this little amount on Madueke يا أخي like what I said about Diaz you could have spent it on the Rodrigo deal يا أخي you spend it on that deal
And
خلاص
I agree. And
أمورك مظبطة
man, listen. From what my memory can tell me, these are the players we signed from Chelsea. Okay, we signed Gallus in 2006, and he turned out to be a bum. We signed Benayoun, a bum. We signed washed Peter Cech, also a bum. We signed a washed David Luiz. Well, he had one good season, but not enough. We signed
watch Willian I don't
Willian.
know
We signed Havertz. We signed Jorginho, Kepa. I mean, how many bums you need to buy to prove the point that you cannot buy Chelsea rejects and expect them to perform in your club? They're not good enough to play for Chelsea, where we are better than Chelsea currently when it comes to starting 11. So why are you buying their bums? I mean, I don't fucking get it. It's man, it's thrashing, it's mind-blowing, it's mind-boggling for me. It's annoying, but it is what it is. And you pay them 50 mil. I mean, you know how much 50 mil is straight to their you can help them to invest in other players, and they're signing better players than you. They're signing Pedro for the same amount. They're signing
apparently they were gonna look at Anwari but you signed him into a new deal so now they want Eze
who.
Chelsea they're another team
Well, I don't think
apparently
it I don't
but I
think
don't
I
think
don't
they
think
will get him
so.
because they
I
have
don't think
Palmer
so.
that makes sense.
Not only that, they already signed the striker, which is Dilap, and they already signed now a second striker, which is Pedro. So I think they will go for a left winger.
Yeah, but can't as they play on the left, to be fair.
As they
Because they
can play
signed
on.
Pittins, that's one left-sided player. واضح
Oh, you're
يعني.
saying they're looking into Eze, not Isak.
I'm saying no. I was saying they're looking at Chelsea are looking at Eze, not yeah Eze. Did I say
Okay,
Isak? I said Isak, guys. My bad. I meant Eze.
yeah, yeah. Okay, Eze. Yes, I see that. I see they can go for him. And
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's for the 10, I don't know. Depends where Palmer would play. Palmer would play on the right. So if he plays on the right, then maybe he and Eze could interchange here and there. I don't know. Depends. Realistically speaking, though,
That means he will go. He will play Enzo on the pivot with Caicedo.
Probably, yeah, because he was playing pivot and he was box crashing recently, and so that's one thing I'll say.
But
You
Enzo
know,
is awful at the box when he plays the eight or central. He's really
lately
awful.
he's been doing a job. I can't lie, bro. Lately, man, you have to give credit where it's due. The thing is with Enzo, Enzo strikes me as like a deep line playmaker. Yeah, that's what he
Yeah,
strikes me as. But for some reason, I don't know what Enzo Maresca saw in him, but he turned him into some box crashing player here and there, and he's been taking advantage of these opportunities that go to him. You know.
that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have the legwork to cover that that role and to perfection. And he relied more into his passing abilities, and that's why as a 10, I think he thrives better. And it was proven against PSG.
Yeah. By the way, you know what? Before we end this stream, we need to talk quickly about PSG. My God, what happened to them that game?
غلبتهم العزة بالنفس. This is where ego comes in. I think, to be honest, they were really. You can see that the way they played, they're a bit, you know, what is the word I would say? Um, شايفين حالهم يا أخي. They were really,
شايفين نفسهم بزيادة. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There was like a big ego in the game, and Mariska read him as a book and countered him tactically. And like I said, Chelsea relied on long balls, which is the kryptonite of PSG, and they did it very well. And they converted their attempts and chances. And Palmer, like I said, he was the star and the main guy and the main in this show, and and they converted all the attempts they have into goal. And that's why I said it was a masterclass from Mariska.
Yeah, yeah, it was, bro. But I will say though, but one thing I'll say. By the way, this Juan guy, I know he's trolling because it's Mez, but you're getting timed out, brother. Yeah, fraud, Barca scum. Anyway, as I was
Wait,
saying,
hold on.
he
There's a
said,
question.
حيوانز. If it's حيوانات, you fraud. But
He said, hold
anyway,
on. There's a question there for me. Let me see. Question for with
oh,
the
is there a
players,
question?
you end up with post window. What trophies cups do Arsenal win?
Is that
I
for
mean,
you? I don't see
you
it.
gotta put context into this question, Ravi. What players are we gonna end up with?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rafi, yeah. I guess you're gonna have to elaborate. Um, well, bro, what was I before I got cut off by this whole thing? I actually don't remember what was I gonna say anymore. What was I gonna say? والله راحت من بالي يا أخي.
How
راحت.
incredible Arsenal are and amazing they are.
Okay, no, 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 no. We ain't doing this. No, no, we're not, no, 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 no. Yeah, you ain't bullshitting me. This is not how it works. Yeah, that that got faulty. Actually, what was I? Oh yeah, well, I was talking about PSG.
Oh yeah,
They're this thing. You know what? The, their fans genuinely believed that this is probably the greatest team or one of the greatest team in the 21st century. How dare they, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Mm,
low key, I know that they were like amazing and all this year, but
mm.
low key, I'm happy they got humbled.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy they got humbled as well because that ego was needed to put in bed. And to be honest, Chelsea managed to do that. But you cannot disregard what they did for the full season.
Exactly. No, I'm not. I told you. Like, I think
Winning
they still
against
have an
Liverpool,
opinion.
winning against Arsenal, winning against Inter Milan 5-0 in the final. You cannot just brush all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
No, no,
cannot
no.
brush that. Yes,
No,
for the year they
PSG,
were. We'll see what happens next year.
bro, they beat us when we had, we don't talk about that. And then they beat Madrid. So, like,
Did they play against Bayern Munich?
Club World Cup quarterfinal.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
When they got.
They brushed you easily. No, I thought it was in the season because you guys got knocked out by
No, no.
Inter Milan.
I mean, you know what? Funny enough, we kind of gave them a go on the first half, but then second half is where they caught us, man. But this is why we need a better squad, a different discussion for a
with
different
nine
day.
players. With 9 players.
I mean, we conceded the first with their 11, but second, yes, 9, yes.
Ravi, if we sign Jokeris and let's say we get Eze, this is more realistic. I don't think we're gonna get Rodrigo. I think. Well, depends if Liverpool buys Isak or not. But I think we can win the league, and the cups. I think we can win them easily as well. Hopefully.
And if he takes it serious for once in his life, sure.
Yes, if he does take it serious, I think we can win the cups, like the FAs and the Carabao Cup. But the league will be tough. I think it's going to be after what I've seen from Chelsea, I think it's going to be a four horse race. But I think we can manage to win it. Champions League, I don't see us, winning it because we don't have that kind of heritage in that tournament.
Yeah. By the way, for those who wanted Lookman, apparently he's going Inter Milan.
He is?
Apparently, yeah. Hano sent me some news. Apparently, he's going to Inter Milan, 40 million.
I mean, that's a good player as well. I mean, why we don't go sign him, man? I would love Lookman.
Nobody wanted it. It's from DiMarzio, this news, by the way. That's the source. Like, the fact that nobody else was looking at Lookman, I'm not shocked that Inter is the only one going in for him and they're getting him. Like the guy was right there.
He's a good player, man. I don't get it why.
Yeah, it is what it is. He's even with Jokic, center back and the 10.
We already signed a center back, Mosquera. We got the here we go. Plus we have Kivior. So and we have Calafiori. So that's 5 defenders. I think that's more than enough. When it comes to defender. When it comes to central midfield, there are news now that we already agreed with Nwaneri, and it was reported that Nwaneri is going to be more dependent on the central area. So I think he's going to be the main guy or the main backup for Odegaard.
But can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Can I tell you something though? Like no bad, like serious talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your team, I actually think, have a chance in performing if Odegaard actually is Hamil and Noam.
Yeah, he had a very shit season.
That guy has to wake the fuck up, bro.
Man, and I hammered him so badly in Corapod and every broadcast that I made, every stream I made. I give him a lot of hard time, man. And he cannot perform the way you perform as an Arsenal captain.
Because here's my thing, right? He's going to start. There's no way Arteta's not starting this guy, and Mr. Haley is not starting. You know what I mean? Odegaard, he's gonna start. Yeah. Key. He's your 100%. Captain. Arteta is relying on him like a madman. So he's gonna start. Yeah. So if he's gonna start, Saka's gonna start on the right. Jokeres when he joins, he's gonna start up top.
Mm-hmm.
It's just left wing. Is it gonna be Martinelli? Is it going to be Trossard? Is it going to be Madueke? Who the hell knows as of right now? But I mean, the fact that Madueke signing him for that amount, you'd think it's him, right? Like, Odegaard has to wake up, because if he doesn't wake up, now you're talking about 2 out of the 4 attackers missing. Because you can't rely on that left winger. And Saka and some games, I think, will get isolated again. It doesn't matter. Like, yes, they have Jokeres to mark out now. So, like, maybe Saka will have a little bit more space. But I feel like if Odegaard doesn't do anything, then both guys aren't going to be provided with enough opportunities, whether it's to provide or score chances.
Well, if Jokeres comes in, and we have as well Eze and Nwaneri, I don't think Arteta is gonna give Odegaard a leeway if he drops stinkers. I mean, yes, he's gonna tolerate a couple of games, but I don't think he will allow Odegaard to just drop stinkers and keep him in the pitch, in my opinion, because this is the last year for Arteta. If he doesn't win fuck all, then he has to leave the club. I mean, it's pretty obvious that everybody grew fed up with the project with Arteta. I mean, we have the potential to win something, but Arteta is unable to, utilize the resources that he has and capitalize on the skillful player that he has, and get us a trophy. So for me, I think the problem with Arteta is, and I mentioned this many times, that he is one dimensional. He's
Yeah.
not able. He has a very poor game management. So if the first setup that he puts into the game, going into the game, doesn't work with him, he keep bashing his head until it works, and that's the fucked up part about Arteta, because he's
Yeah.
still learning, and he's still learning on the job. This is his first coaching experience for a coach, and it happened to be in a big club like Arsenal, and he's still tinkering, and sometimes he is afraid of making risky decisions. I don't know, get a defender out, get a striker in, that type of thing. He never does that. He always, even his substitutions are like for like, striker for striker, defender for defender. You never see him change formations. But Yukar is coming in, Eze coming in. He has to know how to rotate the players. He has to know how to read the game and play the proper players that needs to be played for that particular game. If the team in front of you are playing low block, then get Eze in. If a team in front of you are pressing you and better than you and keeping the ball, like Man City, or like Man City, or stuff, or PSG, for example, then get Odegaard, for example. You need to have those kind of change in tactics.
Cam is speaking, saying a good point, by
He
the way.
is, he is, but that's the thing, I don't think he's gonna allow him to keep dropping stinkers with people talented like Nwaneri and Eze in the bench. I don't think he's gonna allow that, you know,
Leicester, man. Leicester looking best.
because look at last year. I mean, there was only Nwaneri as an attacking midfield. There was nobody else competing with Odegaard and pushing him to say, "Hey, listen, if you drop a stinker, we're gonna sub you." There was literally nobody in the bench. Nobody. But now, if you get an Eze and Wanier, then there are two players. And Wanier now grew up a little bit. I mean, he's no longer that 16, 17 years old, immature. I mean, he started to grow into the game. And that's why Arsenal, sealed a deal for 4 or 5 years for him with him, because they see the potential, and they see he has a future in the club. And if Odegaard cannot, get into the level that is required, I think Arteta is going to bench him.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're done here for today. Um, but hey, listen, man, pleasure doing this again. You know what I mean? We'll be
Yeah,
back
pleasure
next
all
week.
mine, man. Yeah, pleasure all mine.
Yeah, man.
Keep
But
up the
guys,
good work,
listen,
guys. Hit the like, subscribe, guys, to both channels. Don't be frauds, don't be fraudulence. We're giving you a lot of good content, good news.
facts. I mean, not even just new good news, just having a conversation about them all as a whole. You know what I mean? Giving
Mhm.
our thoughts, what could happen, what should happen, all that type of stuff, man. On top BINS YA AKHI, you know what I mean? So, guys, listen,
Shout out.
you guys know exactly what to do, what he just said. Subscribe, like, comment your way to both channels. Don't be frauds. Yeah, otherwise you're mad away, okay? Yeah. And listen, inshallah, you're well wherever you are. Yeah. And listen, I think we're gonna bounce now. Take care. Nah, salam. See you later, guys.
Cheers, guys.